Welcome to the Gamers Inn. Come on in, pull up a chair next to the fire. It looks like you've had a long journey. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and joining me as always is my co-host, Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, I'm back.
I just did that from memory because I forgot to scroll up in the notes. I always use the notes as a, total, not clutch, crutch. But yeah, this week, totally from memory. Apparently when you do something 70 times, it sticks in your brain.
Whoa,
By the way,
milestone.
episode 70.
We did it. We did it.
Yeah.
That was our goal, right? 70,
Yeah, we're done now.
We're done. We've collectively quit the internet.
Yep, I'm done. Oh man, so done with the internet this week.
Yeah, it's been a tough, weird week.
Yeah, very tough, weird week. So, what have you been doing with your tough, weird week? Playing anything exciting?
Yeah, experiencing all kinds of fun things using this new technology that us Canadians have recently come into called Redbox.
Oh, we have that now?
Yeah,
Since
we
when?
do. I think it's been around since the fall, but they haven't really had any well, I guess you should explain what Redbox. Redbox is basically a Redbox vending machine thing. Don't worry, I'm going to go into more detail.
Okay, I was like, wow, you just blew my mind with that, dude. I was totally expecting blue, and then you went red, and I was like, whoa.
Well, I think the back is blue, but you don't see the back because it's usually pushed up against a Walmart. Walmart is blue though. But anyways, I digress. It's basically Blockbuster in a vending machine is what we'll call it.
Okay.
Yeah, and they haven't really had any good games in it until recently, when the newly released God of War game came out in early March. So I picked that up.
That
not too
came
long
up in
ago.
March too?
Yeah, it did. It was overlooked mainly because it was sort of like a prequel to a series that's kind of, concluded. I played all the God of War games, so I was like, well, I kind of have to play this one, right? So I finally got to try Redbox, and it's great because you can go online, reserve your game from my computer. I don't have to go to the vending machine and see if it's there. I can do it on my computer, reserve it, enter my credit card. I can walk to the machine, pick it up, and bring it back. It's like $2.50 a night here in Canada, which if you're going to be renting, say, Skyrim, probably better off buying it. But if you're going to rent like God of War, I blasted through it in like 3 days.
Oh, really?
It was like under $10. Yeah, it's a short. All the God of War games are kind of short.
I guess that's a really good idea for things that don't have a multiplayer component that you aren't going to go back to, hundreds and hundreds of times or tens of times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like the God of War games have always been a play for the single player and you're done. But the interesting part about this one is that they have added a multiplayer. And because I rented it, I couldn't access it because I couldn't even give Sony $10 for their online pass to play the multiplayer portion. You have to buy it.
Oh.
From what I was able to tell, I couldn't buy the pass.
That's weird.
You have to buy it in store. So I don't know how it works. Maybe I just missed it. I'm going to assume that I missed it because there's no way they would cripple a used copy of God of War that badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an online pass, and I didn't buy it. But evidently, that's the best part of the game because the single player is kind of lacking.
Oh, really? Is it a
yeah.
combat thing or a story thing? Like, what's the problem? Why didn't you enjoy it? Because I know there's a lot of people that speak very highly of the franchise. I've never played it, but...
The franchise is fantastic. However, this is sort of like a one outing too many kind of scenario where it's feeling tired, and the whole trope of the God of War game is awesome tight combat, killing things, tearing things apart, blood, gore, boobs, all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh my god, dude, I have a boob story. But anyways, continue.
Well, I will transition into your boob story. Don't worry, because so this game's kind of lacking because it just sort of feels tired, and the whole point of these games is like, oh, there's that god, Hercules, Athena. And God of War 3's been out long enough. You basically kill all of them in God of War 3.
Oh.
So in the prequel, you'd say, oh, well,
I thought they were
what?
immortal.
Well, but see, Kratos is the son of Zeus, so he has the power to kill a god.
Okay.
He actually kills Hercules, which is voiced by Kevin Conroy.
Oh.
So the guy who actually was
I don't think I
Hercules.
like this game.
I like Kevin Conroy?
Well,
Is it Kevin Conroy? No, it's not.
I generally like just Greek mythology, and thinking about all of those gods just dying kind of makes me go, oh.
But they die in gruesome and hilarious, not hilarious, just gruesome ways. But that's just Kratos' thing. He's very angry. In this one, It's a prequel, so you don't Kratos doesn't really know what's going on. He's pissed, but he can't really grasp why he's pissed. So the entire game is based around him sort of piecing together why he's being held captive by these what they're called Furies, these three
Hmm.
sort of demigod beings that are holding him captive for breaking his oath with the god of war. And that sort of sets off the whole series because you basically team up with the God of War to become an all-powerful being, and then the God of War casts you aside. And yeah, it's confusing game story, but um, in this one, it's really convoluted. It's one of those stories where it starts in the future, then goes back 2 weeks, then jumps
Oh,
back to the
I
present, then jumps
hate
back a week.
that.
Yeah, I a couple times I found myself thinking, okay, wait, is this the present or is this the past? Why didn't I use
Which
that
one
item?
is the present again? If I'm skipping
Yeah,
to the future, does that mean the past is the present? Yeah, hate that.
well, it's bad enough it's all in the past because it's a prequel, right? So it totally messes with your head. Um, I still enjoyed myself. There was some points in the middle of the game where it felt really like I was dying a lot, and it was mostly due to like falling into pits, which is very like the platforming sucked. I would
Hmm.
constantly be falling off into these pits, but it's this one is almost like laughably designed by 12-year-old boys. Um, every other monster has this set of boobs that are hanging out, just nipples and all. You can see everything. It's
Really?
weird. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's weird. And we've had the boob discussion before about
I think it was around Terra.
yeah, yeah, where
Yeah.
it's a thing, but this is above and beyond. I know in a lot of Greek mythology that they kind of showed that stuff.
Hmm.
But this is over the top, and there's even like every
But it
God of
was
War game.
usually in Greek mythology, it was artistic boobs. It was like, statues and paintings and
Yeah, and
not like just swinging everywhere and combat and stuff.
there is a
Well, I guess
monster.
maybe it was. I don't know. No, women wouldn't have fought. Anyway, sorry, tangent.
No,
I'm
no,
back. I'm back.
it's a good tangent because like Medusa is this, basically the
Yeah.
structure of a Medusa monster. Yeah, her boobs are just hanging out. They're like
She's pretty much
scaly.
Kerrigan. I was thinking that Joel and I were talking about StarCraft when we were walking home,
Oh,
and
that's perfect.
Kerrigan with her Zerg hair is pretty much Medusa. Joel was making cracks about like her hair coming alive and being all Zergy.
Right, exactly. It's basically like
Yeah.
that, and so that's something that kind of feels like they focus tested with 12-year-old boys, and I get it. The combat's a lot of fun, but some of those things just kind of stood out to me, and you kind of just have to look away. It's a God of War game, whatever.
Hmm.
But the gore in this one is ramped
Mm.
up. I'll give one.
Uh-oh, Ryan, stop talking. I think I lost your audio. Minor glitch, people. Sorry.
Jeez,
Oh, there
man.
we go. You're back.
Now I gotta edit that out. Damn it. Anyways, was I talking about gory
Yes,
gore?
you were talking about over the top gore and how awesome that was.
Uh, it's awesome,
Or
but in
not
this
awesome.
one,
I don't know. I lost you.
yeah. No, it's awesome, but in this one, it sort of goes a little over the top. I was fighting this elephant monster, and basically how you kill him is you pull him to the ground with your swords, and then you just there's a mini game where you're just hitting his head, stabbing over and over again, and then finally you pull the knife down over his skull, and it pops open, and his brain comes out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like I don't. That's just like I can handle
Yeah,
and I
I've noticed that lately in games where it seems like it's gone from really gory, like the kind of the worst it used to be would be a sniper rifle shot where you'd have a scope and you could kind of like see somebody's head exploding through your scope, and that was as bad as it got. And
yeah.
then you got up to kind of pistol kills, and then so there was kind of blood spurting out of wherever you hit them. And then
Mhm.
it kind of got up to melee kills, looking like, with some of the Bioshock stuff. And the Bioshock's not the only one. Like, there's a lot of games that kind of ramped up their gore around your melee kills. And
Mhm.
then now it just seems like they're all trying to outdo each other with, like, well, how many insides can we make explode right in their face in all these different ways? And it's kind of
Right.
like, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily make it a better game just having all these shock gore parts, you know?
th like God of War to me was always really cool because you felt like a badass. You were literally tearing people apart, and it was never this bad. It just feels like they the other three, they stepped up to the line, spit across it, and that was fine.
Hmm.
In this one, it feels like they're just skipping across it and not going so far that it's bloody disgusting and I had to stop playing, but just
Hmm.
it's just a little too far for me. And um, we'll move away back to the boob part. Every God of War game has like this sex scene, and it's a God of War trope. It's basically to teach you. This is going to sound bad for anybody who hasn't played a God of War game, but it's to teach you the mini game aspect, like the button mashing. And I'm not kidding. Literally in God of War 2, there is a threesome, and you have to push the buttons. You don't see anything, mind you, just polygon boobs before you start. And then really, what the point of the game is, I'm glad this game's popular because everyone's going to think I'm weird. But the point of the mini game is to knock this vase over. And it's literally a sex minigame. In this one, they don't have the sex minigame. You just walk into a room and it's a vision, and there's like literally like 10 topless women walking around. And unfortunately, I'm playing, and my girlfriend's in the other room, and she comes in and it's like, "What the hell are you playing?" I was like, "It's God of War. If you knew, it'd be over in 5 seconds. That one's probably a monster of some kind trying to kill me. Don't worry about it." So
I
yeah,
am
it's
not
just
here by choice, I swear.
yeah, it's like this is gonna be over soon. I can't skip it. I swear. Yeah, so it's just this one kind of felt tired. It's like
Hmm.
put it away for a couple years. Like God of War 3 felt like I was done with the series, and this one kind of proves it. It's just and a lot of
Yeah.
people had the same issues that I did.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
now
the same criticisms.
quickly, just I want to point out the chat room's
Mm.
currently saying that gore has been around forever. Just something sometimes it seems out of place, and I agree. I think what I was saying more was not that there's more gore than there used to be. It's just different kinds of gore. It's like now we have the graphic capabilities to do these things, and developers are taking advantage of that, and so we're kind of getting more in your face detailed gore, which I don't know if games always benefit from that. That was all I meant, but I do realize that gore obviously has been in games as long as there's been gore. I mean, like from cute little pixel blood all the way up to the Call of Duties and the God of Wars of the world. So
Yeah, I think it's just evolved with the graphics.
yeah,
It just feels like it's more present now, and like God of War is always. If anybody in the chat room or is listening to this episode is saying God of War's always been graphic and gory, it's like that's true, but it felt like this one, took that, ran with it too
went a
far.
little further. Yeah.
Like they took the football, like they got the touchdown, but then they took it out of the stadium. It's like, guys, you scored. We have another
You
play
can
to do.
bring it back now.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to play another God of War game, but not anytime soon.
Yeah, fair enough. So, speaking of games that I don't want to play again anytime soon, I played more SimCity. And granted, I did actually sit down and play. I didn't get booted. I was able to actually play cities. And I probably ended up playing for about 5 hours. So I got a solid look at the game. Still sucks.
Well, they added cheetah speed back, Jocelyn.
They did. They did. They gave me cheetah speed, which was really good because without cheetah speed, I wouldn't have played for 5 hours. Because at least with cheetah speed, it let me get through the city faster. But I did figure out how to make SimCity fun, though.
Oh.
If you make a region
Mhm.
that is, I think I made mine 6 or 9 cities, I can't remember, and then make it private and don't invite any of your friends and claim all the cities for yourself, then it's about the same size as what original SimCity let you play with, and you have enough room that you can build like the suburbs where all your people live, and then your main city where all of your commercial tourism is, and then you can have an industrial city like Poop Town where all of the pollution and sewage and stuff is that you don't want, and you are always online
Mhm.
when you need yourself to be online. So you can volunteer services from all of your cities to all of your other cities. So you don't need other people. And then the game was fun.
Okay, so is that working now? You can kind of have a power plant sort of all facilities city, and you can send that to your other cities? Because that was one of the breaking points that I had, because that still sent over the server. It's not done
See,
locally.
I honestly, every single person that I was part of a region with, um, every single one of those people said has not been here in 4 or more weeks, has not played since March 12th. Has, with the exception of one guy who,
It's
Scotty D,
crazy.
that I was
Oh,
playing with, that he was actually running our region. So he was actually playing, and I think his said like last played 13 days ago or something. So I mean, like, but he is obviously the exception. Everybody else played for the first week of March and gave up. So I didn't have any problems because yes, you're right. Even though it's me managing all of my cities, all of that is still sent to and from the server.
hmm.
But because there's nobody playing anymore, there's not that lag on the servers, so I didn't have any problems. I was jumping back and forth between my cities all the time. So it's
Hmm.
it was more fun playing by myself because it gave me the room that I needed to do what I wanted to do with the game. So
Okay.
it was more interesting. It still is nowhere near as good as SimCity used to be, and it really makes me angry that they've ruined the franchise essentially. Like people coming to SimCity for the first time, like I loved SimCity and I loved the franchise back, 10 years ago. And I'm just it makes me so sad to see what they've done with it because it could have been so good. And I know that there are some
Right.
people playing who are really enjoying it, but like everyone who played it should have really enjoyed it.
I I want to get back into it. I saw the cheetah speed was added back, and I thought, maybe this would be a good time to boot it back up. But then I saw news that we're going to be getting a 2.0 patch next week at some
Oh,
point.
really?
I
God
didn't
damn
read
it.
the patch notes, but I guess it's a significant restoration of features plus
Hmm.
like minor new features.
Well, yeah, because
Hope.
there still aren't any leaderboards or achievements or any of that kind of stuff. That's all still disabled. So,
Mm,
I don't know. And I did not download that freaking Nissan station. Yeah, I know it's free and it's only around for 6 months, but the fact that that's their first DLC just makes me so. It just shows what EA has done to the franchise.
yeah.
And I mean, just they've ruined it in every sense of the word. And I can't support that.
Did you see the second piece of DLC they put out?
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
It's like sponsored by Crest, but you have to actually buy toothpaste and floss to get it.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say there was going to be like a big smiling billboard that was going to say, like, smile, you're playing The Sims.
Oh, I
You
don't even
like
know
us,
what it
right?
is. I don't know what you get, but I
Yeah.
know that once I read you have to buy toothpaste and floss to get it. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah. It seems like they're using it to make money as opposed to trying to provide a quality game to fans of the series, fans of the company, and it's like they've and I know that everyone's probably yelling at me right now and saying, "Well, EA never did this. EA has always been like this." But I mean, it seems like they're not making games for gamers anymore. They're making games for money, and I know everyone, wants to make profit and blah blah blah, but I don't know. I'm very disappointed. EA, I am
Hey.
not angry anymore. I'm just really disappointed. You should
Uh-oh.
probably go to your room.
I, I I see EA, yeah, they want to make money, but I still think there's a glimmer of hope there. Like they still want to put games out, maybe every other game out that is fun and rewarding for the customer. Like I look at titles like say Dead Space 3. That's part them trying to make money with the DLC thing that kind of exploded and part them trying to make a good game. And it is a good game. And then you look at say stuff like Army of Two, 3, um, which is them trying to make money and is an awful game.
Hmm.
So it's really hard to defend them. And for every example of good they do, there's many examples of bad. And we probably won't see them turn around for another couple of years. I mean, they fired their CAO, and Peter Moore has been making comments about how he wants to make the company better. I don't
But
know.
at the
I
same
think,
time, like, I mean, he seems to be making comments saying that he wants to improve, but then in the same breath saying things like, and not that his comments are wrong, but when EA won the Worst Company in America award, His comments were like talking about how other companies have done so much worse, and how what was the company that was responsible for the oil spill? What are they called?
Oh, BP?
BP,
No.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, and BP is such a terrible American company." I was like, "Dude, the B stands for British." Like, they're not
Oh.
an American company, but thanks for coming out. Like,
Now
it just,
I know BP is an oil company, but when I first saw that, because I had never paid attention, but years ago when I first saw it, I thought they were talking about Boston Pizza. I'm like, what? I don't get it.
but
And
yeah, so and so he makes comments like that instead of owning the fact that they haven't done well. He says, "Oh, there's so many people that are worse than us," which is a fair statement. There are a lot of bad companies, but then he went on to say things like, "Oh, it just shows that these internet things are meaningless, and it's just a bunch of angry nerds and blah 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 blah." And I'm just like, dude, whoa,
yeah, it
whoa.
seemed defensive
It was
in a
very,
way.
very offensive to us, and like very defense on him, and I just, oh man, it was awful. And I was like, really? Yay, you're not helping. No, you're not helping.
And I mean, what future, like the most recent project that's going to be released by them is probably Battlefield 4, and some of the comments coming out of that is, this game is going to have feeling and be the best game to make you feel, and they keep using that feel word as if games have never made you feel before.
Yeah.
And the single player is going to be so great and touching and all that. And then
Did they not see our episode on Heart of the Swarm? Because heartstrings.
yeah, I think that was that sort of news came out around the same time BioShock Infinite was releasing, and people are just like, evidently these guys have been so busy making this touchy-feely Battlefield that they didn't play BioShock
Anything else.
And teaches, like, I mean, maybe they have made an amazing single-player campaign for Battlefield 4. I don't know. We won't find out until November, or October. But it still seems weird that they're still approaching advertising and marketing the same way they have when they know they've been doing bad,
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, SimCity, like I said, I did end up playing about 5 hours. I was kind of enjoying it. I'm getting the hang of it. It is really different than previous versions. So, a lot of the mechanics are different. A lot of the placement of things is different. You can't really move things around, which is weird. So, without like fully bulldozing it and having to rebuild it. So, it's kind of a different way of playing. I don't really think I'm going to spend a whole lot of time with it anytime soon again, which I'm really disappointed in. But at the same time, I mean, there's so many other great games out there that I have better things to spend my time on. I just kind of wish I hadn't sunk so much money into this right off the bat, but whatever.
Yeah, it was.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it was expensive.
It was. So yeah, that was my SimCity experience. I am done with it now. So just go build your own region, make it private, and then claim all the cities. And then it's like kind of like old SimCity, at least space-wise. So there you go. Pro tip of the day. Totally stole that from Husky. Shh.
The pro tip of the day, or that
Yeah.
he suggested you play
Pro
SimCity?
tip of the day.
Oh, well, I haven't seen Husky. You should have taken.
Should have taken credit for that. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure a lot of A-Move people have seen Husky cast Bronze League Heroes, so I can't take all credit for that.
I don't know. It's not like this network's named after a RTS
thing,
move
yeah.
of some kind.
So what else have you been playing?
I've had some weird occurrences in Heart of the Swarm that we had some enlightening stuff happen last week where someone came on and explained the whole ladder system to us. And I played a 2v2 match. I've been playing with my buddy Adam a lot, and we're doing pretty good. We're progressing to the high end of silver.
Oh, good.
And we were on the high end of bronze one night, and we're playing a game, and we were about to lose, and then the other team quit.
Oh.
They both quit at the exact same time. We were like, what the hell just happened? Like, we were about to get our ass... We were about to literally type GG and surrender, and they quit, and we got out, and all of a sudden we're bounced up to silver. And
That
like,
just goes to show you, don't quit till you lose your last unit. Even if they say GG, don't quit until they quit.
I know,
That's
but
happened to me before, where they've been like, oh, GG, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then so I go and quit the game, and then it's like, oh, you were defeated. And I was like, what? But that was like 15 seconds after they said GG, and that's what some of them do, is they will say GG, they will get you to stop playing, and if you're too quick to say exit game or whatever, then yep.
Yeah, we had
There's a
contemplated maybe it
lot of
had.
cheesy stuff going on in Bronze League.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it was weird. It took us off guard, but then we ended up winning a bunch of matches, and I'm really enjoying Zerg. And but other than that, that's really the only weirdest thing that happened. Oh,
Yeah.
we played the same guy in ladder, the same team in ladder twice, which was weird.
Twice in a row?
Yeah, like twice in a
Oh,
row. We
cool.
played a game, and then we hit play again. We won the first one. We hit play again, and I'm like, those names look familiar. And I typed to all. I'm like, did we just play you guys? And they're like, yepers. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna do the opposite of what I did before.
Yeah, really.
And it turned out we had the units to counter theirs because they tried to counter our old
Yeah.
strategy.
Ooh,
So
look at you.
I don't know. I'm not that good, but
Yeah.
my teammate is really good at Protoss, and he just makes a lot of a good like what do they call it? Like a meatball or
Void
something.
rays.
No, like
I know, I'm just kidding.
well, void rays, yes. Void rays are involved in this sort of ball of
The ball
death.
of death, yeah.
I guess it's ball of death. It's kind of like a combination of units that seem to be the be all end all, and if they have just like a smidgen more units, they'll take you out.
Hmm.
So that just seems to be the reason we win every time.
I found I was losing a lot of matches because I just didn't make enough units, and so I've kind of got to the point now where I'm still not spending my money fast enough, so I still think I'm doing something seriously wrong with my build, but I've started making a whole lot more buildings, which I wasn't doing before. I used to play, and I'm just the chat room, just ignore what I'm about to say to you right now, but I used to play off of like 2 barracks, a factory, and then like 2 starports. And I couldn't make enough dudes, obviously. But I was just like, I don't know why I keep losing. And I was losing to AI. I was losing in unranked. Like these aren't the ladder games I was complaining about last week. This was just when I was still learning. And so I was sitting there, and I would just be like, playing off of these like 5 production buildings and just like losing. And I was like, I don't understand. I have all the buildings I'm supposed to have. Like I've built this as many different, like I was trying to think of having a diverse assortment of buildings as opposed to
Sure.
thinking I need to build 10 barracks before I start, like I can have a factory and some starports to get some medevacs, but like my bulk of my army should probably be made up of Marines or whatever. And I was never even getting close to supply capped, right? So but I've changed now. I've seen the light. I've changed, I promise.
That is good.
Yeah, so I'm getting better. I played Cashel today, which was a whole lot of fun.
Oh,
Yep.
did she get Heart of the Swarm?
Yes, she did. Yeah. So,
Good.
So I played her and we had a good time, and I ended up winning, but it was definitely a battle. And then, but I find I cannot beat Joel, not because I think he's better than me, but because it really stresses me out playing against him. And to the point that I just like I know him so well, obviously, that like I get to his front door because we've played 2v2 so much, and given what I see, I can be like, well, yeah, I'm screwed, so surrender. And most of the time I'm just like surrender, like
Aw.
because I just find like he can just roll over me so easily. And again, like it's not because he's better, it's because if I were playing anyone else at his skill level, I think I'd be fine, but because it's him, there's this like mental block there for me where I'm just like, oh well, I'm not gonna win anyway, so why am I even bothering to play?
That's funny you mentioned that because I had a similar situation. Like we always seem to lose against Terran and Protoss because I'm a Zerg and I like to send my Zerglings in. I know I'm annoying right away. And every Terran I play now that we're in Silver is really good at blocking off those ramps.
Mm-hmm.
So when a Terran pops up, we're like, shit, I'm not going to be able to rush and it's going to throw off my whole build. We're going to lose. And the one match, we're just like, this is our last match of the night. Let's just go for it. Let's not rush. Let's just hit them when we get our units and we'll see how we do. And we adapted, and it's all like StarCraft's all about switching up your strategies based on what you see. And we won. So maybe you just need to be like, just throw the rule book out and just, just pretend you're facing some, silver dude or whatever.
I just find like, I think too, it's because he knows me so well. So he always knows, like, because I'll be like, okay, I'm really, really bad at like figuring out how to counter things, right? So he'll, if he has siege tanks in the first game we play, then the next game we play, I'll be like, okay, he's gonna do siege tanks, so then I'll have banshees. So then he has Vikings because he knows I'm gonna have banshees, and I'm just like, God damn
Oh,
it.
you got to scout. You got to get your well, I mean, for Terran, I don't know what the best way to scout is, but build a couple like air units and get in there and just
Yeah.
kind of
Well, Reapers
do
too,
it.
right?
Reapers, yeah, and like
Although,
another.
man, they just melt. Like
Oh yeah,
you, pretty much any unit in the game can one shot a Reaper, even a probe.
yeah, they're early sort of stuff. And I remember when I played Wings of Liberty, they would get they were really popular in the beginning because they would just tear apart your workers.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's all about scouting and all about, I find, especially with ladder play, if you ta I took out a team's expansions, just went around and killed them all, and they quit because
Mm.
like I pissed them off so much that I was like basically taking their
That's
economy
another
and tearing
thing
it too.
that I've started to do is instead of going at their main base, because I find that unless you destroy them in the first 3 minutes, you
Hmm.
pretty much you can't take the main base. Like everyone has gotten really good at defending their main base, but if you can deny all of their expansions, then you know it's pretty much the way that I've been able to win is by making sure I secure mine really, really early and then moving out and denying theirs, and then that usually is successful. But I find also a lot of people like I play a very, very macro style game. Like, I have money coming out the wazoo. I don't even know where that is, but that's where all my money comes from. So I find that
Wazoo.
that I have I constantly have tons and tons of money. Like, I mean, I can lose my entire army and have it back in no time because I have the economy to back it up.
Right.
But I find a lot of people don't necessarily do that they just kind of rush and run at you with, whatever they've got, and they're not really concerned with actually building up bases and an economy and playing a long game. They want to end everything as fast as possible. So you get rushes of stuff, and you get, not necessarily balanced unit composition. It's just kind of like, I have 10 of these, so I'm going to throw them at you and hope that you can't counter it. And then I'm going to do it again, and then I'm going to do it again. And if I haven't won in 15 minutes, well, then you're going to have to come at me and melt on my front door.
Yeah. It's such a, and every game is different that you play,
Oh yeah,
you know?
definitely. Well, that's
I,
one of the attractions of StarCraft, right? Is that you can play 20 times in a day and never play the same type of match, even if you play all TVT.
it's the worst for like one more game. It's
Yes.
just one
Oh my
more game.
God. Yes.
Like
I've been
I
up till
think
5 in the morning so many times, and I'm literally like, I
five
have
in the
to.
morning,
Yeah,
like my time or your time?
my time.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
What
it's
do you work in the
bad.
morning?
Yeah,
Oh, that is bad. See,
it's really bad. So I sleep for an hour and then go do a 12-hour shift.
what? How are you alive?
I'm not.
Oh,
It's zombie Jocelyn.
oh my God. No, recently I've been not 5 a.m., but not recently, but the last a couple weeks ago, I was having the issue where I would stay up till 2 in the morning on a weekday,
Mm.
and then like 4 a.m. on the weekends. I'm like, I'm not. Once 2 a.m. rolls around, I'm not even enjoying myself. It feels like it's a job all of a sudden. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I better finish this level in
Yeah.
Tomb Raider. Oh, there's a little Bible thing to pick up. It's so I stopped doing that recently, but no, I feel your pain.
Yeah, definitely.
StarCraft.
So, we're running out of time again.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's
I'm just gonna say quickly that Ryan and I really appreciate your continued support of our show, along with the support of our sponsor, Doghouse Systems. You can use the code TheGamersIn to double your RAM when you purchase a new gaming rig. 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, but 16 does not become 32, because that would be insanity mode. Head on over to doghousesystems.com and get your order on, which brings us to quickfire news.
And Ubisoft is saying that we're all ready for Always Online. So it seems each week we've got a new Always Online story for you, whether it's related to the new Xbox reveal or SimCity. And this week is no different. Ubisoft CEO Yanis Mallet I don't think that's how it's pronounced, was asked if consumers are prepared and answered, that's a question you should put to Microsoft and Sony. I would say that a lot of people are already always online through other devices. I would suspect that the audience is ready. Continuing, Mellet agreed that an always online service needs to provide clear benefits for the user. Can Microsoft make the benefits shine brighter than the SimCity launch or the hit on secondhand games? That's the supposed May unveiling is coming up very soon, so hopefully we'll know something.
The Girl Scouts are getting a game badge. Not long after the Boy Scouts revealed that their new video game badge design badge, sorry, their new video game design badge that we covered a few weeks back, it looks like the Girl Scouts are set to follow suit. The Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles are working with Women in Gaming International to draw up the requirements for earning the badge. They are also working with the government's STEM initiative, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, so it looks like it will be another programming-centered badge, much like the Boy Scout version. More details to come.
Bethesda's new project is The Evil Within. The new game from Shinji Mikami, the mind behind survival horror game series Resident Evil, is being developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda. The announcement trailer is all live action and shows no gameplay. However, the tone of the game is most definitely set. So much so, I literally jumped in the opening bits. And after that...
Was it the hand?
Yes, it was the hand. It's just, I was watching, it's like, okay, this is interesting. And then and I'm like, I jumped. I was like, I have not been scared by a trailer, no less, in a very long time. But the game will feature highly crafted environments, horrifying anxiety, and an intricate story weaving together to create an immersive world that will bring players to the height of tension. The game will launch next year on PS3, 360, PC, and next generation consoles. A first look is teased on the game's Facebook page this Monday. Should be interesting.
I will not be playing this game. That trailer scared the crap out of me. No.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't think I'll play it. Because you're right, it does look a little too scary.
It's a little bit too intense. It's a little too saw. It's very...
Yeah,
It's too much for me. And I know
Hostel.
Yeah, Hostel. That's another good comparison. But yeah, it's a little bit too much for me, so I definitely won't be playing that, which is too bad because I mean, it's not that it looks like a bad game, it's just I can tell from the trailer it's not my thing.
Not your thing. That's all
Nothing
good.
wrong with that. So we have some controversy coming out of Korea around Nintendo and Twitter. Nintendo Korea's official Twitter is caught up in a bit of a controversy that I know a lot of us that manage multiple Twitter accounts can relate to. Although Nintendo denies it, it looks like an employee chose the wrong Twitter account to tweet from, degrading comments about a South Korean TV personality tweeted from the official Nintendo account instead of their own personal account. Nintendo is denying that the comments were sent by anyone working for the company, and it is treating this as a glitch or a hack. But come on. We all know how hard it is to keep multiple accounts straight, so remember, kids, check twice, tweet once.
Nice. I think this is just a conspiracy and North Korea is behind it all. Xbox may revive Heroes. Remember that cool show that ran for one season and then sort of went away? No, not Firefly. I'm talking about Heroes. TV Line is reporting that Microsoft is looking to bring back Heroes as part of their original programming lineup under the Xbox brand. The revival of the sci-fi series would feature new characters and stories and could bring in heroes from the show's original run as cameos. And yes, before you send in your emails, I know Heroes ran for 3 seasons, but really I try to block the last 2 out of my head.
The Double Fine game gets a name and a teaser trailer. And tease it does. There's no voiceover to the trailer, just a few animated scenes depicting a boy and a girl going about their lives. The description from the site, which is brokenagegame.com, which I totally spelt wrong. It's not actually Borkin, because that doesn't make sense. Says, Broken Age is a point-and-click adventure telling the story of a young boy and girl leading parallel lives. The girl has been chosen by her village to be sacrificed to a terrible monster, but she decides to fight back. Meanwhile, a boy on a spaceship is living a solitary life under the care of a motherly computer, but he wants to break free and lead adventures and do good in the world. Adventures ensue. Those of you who aren't aware, Broken Age is the result of a record-breaking multi-million-dollar Kickstarter project from Double Fine about a year ago. They pay homage to these backers in the trailer, saying it is a game from Double Fine Studios and 90,000 of their closest friends. The game is set to release in Q2 2013. Beta access is available to those who pre-order now on the game's website. Which brings us to our topic of the week. Totally cut you off there, dude. Sorry.
No. I was just clearing my...
Clearing your throat there?
No, I forgot already. No, it's all good. Keep going.
So we are actually going to talk about everything that Nintendo announced at their Nintendo Direct event this past week. So Ryan got a very exciting release date announcement.
Yeah, I heard Pikmin 3 is coming out in just a few months, which equates to August. August is not a few months from now.
Yeah, and August is also not in the release window of a console that came out in November.
Yeah,
it's almost a full year. That's not release window.
No, I agree, and it's like I was looking at the list of Nintendo published, or sorry, not Nintendo published because that would be cheating, but Nintendo developed, because there are a lot of Nintendo published titles that have come out on the Wii U, but developed. Not many. The last one was Super Mario, and then I think there's a Wario game coming out, but those are fun, but I don't really count it as a core hardcore title. So I haven't bought a Wii U game in
months
since Christmas. So
which is months. We're almost at the end of April. So
I know, yeah, months, but I wanted to equate it to months, February, no, like December, like launch window, what I would equate to launch window. It's so depressing, but it looks so good. It looks good.
At least it's coming. At least it hasn't been canceled or severely delayed. I mean,
Yeah. August
is better than never.
If they had announced August in November, that would have been bad. But I suppose waiting until April and then finding out it's coming in August isn't a huge deal.
Okay,
and that's
so question.
What?
If you had known that you were going to have to wait till August, would you have purchased a Wii U in November?
Probably.
Yeah, well, okay, you're a fanboy. That doesn't count.
I'll be the first to agree with you. I am a fanboy, and I have enjoyed my Wii U, and with the Virtual Console promotions they've been doing, where it's like a new game every month for 30 cents. I've sort of been jumping on there, buying it, and playing it. So I am still playing the Wii U, but just not as much as I would hope.
Not as much as a console, as expensive as it is, should take up of your time, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on something, you want it to eat up a huge chunk of your time. So do you feel that it's been a good investment so far, or...
No, not at all.
That's too bad.
It's off. It's. I'll be the first to tell you that I feel I enjoyed the time I've had with it, but do I feel as though I've, gotten my money's worth yet? No, not really. But after a couple Nintendo titles come out, maybe my tune will change. And I really do think it's a great console, and it's got some great concepts, and it's going to be the next Wii, where it's just I turn it on every 3 months or every 6 months or whatever when a new Nintendo title comes out. Like that's all it's always been for me.
I finally took mine out of the box, by the way. It's set up now. I have my TV all set up, and my Wii is actually out of the box, and
Nice.
I got a new dresser, so I basically reorganized my room and put my TV on top of the dresser. So I'm gonna have to stand up to play Wii stuff, but it's gonna.
Well, you'll have to, because you'll be doing this. I don't have to do that anymore. I'm just sitting there doing this again.
Yeah.
And this occasionally.
Yeah.
Which isn't that bad. But this, I don't know.
Yeah, too much, yeah. So yeah, we got the release date for Pikmin, which is coming, so huzzah. But it seems to me that lately they've been really focusing on the 3DS and what is coming out on those. And so we've got a new Zelda game coming, a new Mario Party game, and a new Yoshi's Island. So, I mean, I love Mario Party. It's probably one of my favorite Nintendo franchises because they're just so much fun when you can get a group of people together and play a whole bunch of mini games with Mario and all the characters and stuff. Like, I really enjoy the Mario Party titles. So I don't really know how that would work on a 3DS because I've never had the portable Nintendo consoles. So I don't. Is it the kind of thing where you all sit in a room and all have your 3DSs and play against each other, or like how does it work?
There wasn't a lot of details, but from what I saw, it adds more modifiers to the game board. I think they mentioned local play, obviously, but I, knowing Nintendo, there probably isn't going to be online play, which sucks. They'll probably reserve that for the Wii U outing
Hmm.
whenever that comes around. Um, but yeah, I think the portable titles for the most portable titles that come out on the 3DS and previous versions have always been the whole like, okay, everybody get their 3DS out or their DS out and sit on the couch and play together, right?
Hmm.
So that's kind of unfortunate because I would like to see an online Mario Party. And Mario Party, I'm a big fan of that as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the Zelda game is
mhm,
very interesting to me because I mean
mhm.
I still haven't played all the way through Link to the Past, so nobody get angry and send emails please, because I know John told me when we had him on episode 15, so literally a year ago, that I really needed to get on it and play Link to the Past, and it's sitting on my Wii right now, my virtual console, unplayed, so sorry. Well, not unplayed, I've started, but
How far are you? I
not
can't
very.
remember what you're trying to
Not
collect.
very.
Eight? I I can't remember.
Yeah. But I do, I mean, I just love Zelda and the world of Zelda. And I've been reading a lot of the 25th anniversary book and all the history. And it's such
Mhm.
a rich universe. And I really enjoy it. So the fact that they're still putting out Zelda titles makes me happy. And the fact that they're going back to their roots, as it were, also makes me happy. So I I don't know. I this announcement definitely makes me think that the 3DS might be something that I should pick up.
Yeah, this caught me off guard. I believe it was a year ago, like last E3, Miyamoto was asking journalists like, what would you rather see? A remake of Majora's Mask or a sequel to A Link to the Past?
Hmm.
He's wanted to make a sequel to A Link to the Past for a very long time, and what Miyamoto wants, Miyamoto usually gets. So,
It's not
yeah.
necessarily a sequel. I know that
Mhm.
the sequel term has been thrown around, but
Yeah.
the way that they're talking about it is that it is a game set after and in the same time period and universe
Same
as
world, yeah.
same world exactly of Link to the Past. I don't know if it's necessarily a sequel in the way that we're used to sequels. I mean, like, for instance, Majora's Mask is not a sequel to Ocarina of Time per se. Whereas, you
Right.
know, you have, I'm trying to think of one that was actually a direct sequel. Um,
Zelda 2.
oh,
No, 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 no. I'm being serious. If you
I
go to
thought you
like,
were just making fun of me.
no, I think that's like the only sort of. Well, okay. I guess if you want to go like, I see what you're saying. Like, I think it's Ocarina of Time to Wind Waker, where Wind Waker is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, A
Yes.
Thousand Years. Even
Yes,
that doesn't
exactly.
work because the timeline splits three times at Ocarina.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ocarina of Time is a
So
really
Zelda
bad
one to two.
yeah, well, yeah, we'll just stick with that. But anyways, and I think that there's a lot more actual straight sequels in the portable Zelda gaming world as opposed to the console Zelda gaming world. The console,
Mhm.
like you said, with the three possible outcomes of Ocarina of Time, makes it very difficult for the console to, well, I guess difficult to do sequels in the console world, but at the same time gives them a lot of options of what the world could look like, so gives us a lot of titles that we could possibly have in the Zelda
Right.
universe. So, I mean, it obviously pluses and minuses to having three different outcomes of a game. So, cool. Um, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot more direct timeline sequels. And the description that they're giving to this new Link to the Past game, they're being really vague, which, I mean, they always are. And it's probably the most frustrating thing about following and covering Nintendo is that everything that they do is always so vague. And it's just like we
Yeah.
don't ever get details until like right before.
Well, it's sort of like I read an article related to the Nintendo Direct, and someone asked head of translation at Nintendo America why they do a bunch of sequels, and they said that they don't always look at making a sequel. They have an idea for gameplay, and then they fit that to, does this work for Metroid? Does this work for
Hmm.
Zelda, Mario? Does it need a whole new franchise to support it? And they basically say that obviously when you attach a new piece of gameplay to an existing franchise, like say Luigi's Mansion, that was sort of not done before, but with the Luigi sort of Mario Kingdom name, it makes it a easier sell, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's why everything's so vague is because they say like, for example, here's a new gameplay piece in this next Zelda game. And it's everything's sort of vertical using the 3D really well. Like there's a lot of scenes in the trailer where Link is hitting these trampoline things and going up a level and it looks really cool. You're not just going up steps and
Mm-hmm.
transitioning. But there is no talk of story, just like basic setting, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. So I think maybe that's the reason. But even then, like for example, when they announced the Luigi DLC for New Super Mario Brothers U a couple months back, they just said, "Yeah, we're making a Luigi expansion, guys. It's gonna be fun." Moving on. It's
It's
almost
like,
like they
well, wait,
said,
what?
yeah, it's almost like they said, "Oh, you know what we should totally do? This is the year of Luigi. Let's make a Luigi expansion, guys. All new levels with Luigi. Great. Ship, print, make a logo.
Yeah.
We'll show them gameplay in
All
what, two
they did
months?
is
Yeah.
they just took Mario, stretched him a little, colored him green, and then called it DLC.
Well, it's funny.
It's like, yeah, you're playing as Luigi.
And he does the flutter jump.
Yeah.
But what they literally did for the logo is they have new. It's like new, and then it says Luigi, and then brothers is
Careful.
stricken out with green paint. So it's like Luigi can't even make his own logo.
Yeah.
Really, so lazy.
Oh, poor Luigi.
Mamma mia.
So they also mentioned that the virtual console, that basically the Wii U is getting a system update, and so
Mm.
that is next week, and that is going to bring the virtual console fully to the Wii U. So I mean, you have a Wii U, so you're familiar with what the functionality of it is right now. Like, what exactly are we going to be getting out of this? Like, I
Uh,
know I saw stuff like you can transfer things from different USB sticks, and apparently that's a thing.
I don't know what that is. It might be like maybe there's an issue where, say, some of the games you download from the eShop are so big that you have to install them to an external drive.
Hmm.
And maybe there's a situation where you start with a smaller external drive, then someone says, "Oh, here's a terabyte drive." It's like, "Oh, well, I'll use that for my Wii U and get rid of this 500 gig." Well, maybe there isn't an easy way to transfer data. I
Right.
don't know. But it
Yeah.
doesn't apply to me because it's all on the Wii U for now. But the Virtual Console, I think, is more probably just going to be a section of the eShop.
Hmm.
Right now, it's just sort of like,
Well, that's what I didn't really understand, because as far as I gathered from what you've said and everything else is that you can already buy games. So I mean, the virtual console coming to Wii U, that must mean all of the past titles, like not current stuff, right?
yeah,
Is that what they're
like
talking about?
it's funny. You get back to the point where we were talking about Nintendo doesn't give us any
Well,
details.
yeah, that's true.
They
This
just
is coming
say,
next week and we're still not going to tell you about it.
yeah, like I don't know what it's going to be. I figure it's the ability for me to transfer my licenses from my
Mm.
Wii mode to Wii U so I don't have to
Wait,
boot
they
in
still haven't done that?
in the sense that I can transfer my licenses.
Mm-hmm.
No, because we're waiting for all the Virtual Console stuff to come over, and they
Oh,
haven't even
geez.
confirmed whether, all of my titles are coming over right away, whether
Right,
it's going to
right.
be a staggered launch or not.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I think it is. As far as I understand, most titles from the Wii and the GameCube will be coming, but I think it only goes as far back as the 60. But there was something about the 64 where
right.
either it goes back to and including the 64 or just back to the 64. So just Wii and GameCube. But there was something about the 64 being like the line, and they were saying that they were porting everything, but not before the 64. I'm sure that will come, but it's going to be a while.
They're saying NES and Super NES only for now, and N64 and GBA are close.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
Um,
I had it backwards. So it's
yeah,
yeah, okay.
I would love to see GameCube games on the VC. That would be great
There were
because
some really solid GameCube titles. I mean,
yeah.
I played through Buffy like 4 times.
I think we talked about this
I
like
think
when
we
we
did.
first started this podcast, and I just remembered that you played Buffy on GameCube a lot.
A lot.
I'm trying to think of a GameCube game that hasn't really been remade. Like Wind Waker is an obvious one, but it's getting remade. But
Hmm.
maybe Eternal Darkness, I guess. I remember
Yeah.
really enjoying that.
I remember, well, yeah, I guess Wind Waker was just on the GameCube, but then, I mean, the next Zelda title was on both the Wii and the GameCube. That was
Right.
Twilight Princess, right? It was split between the two. So The GameCube actually had kind of a pretty short life. I don't know why it was not that popular. I really, really liked my GameCube. I really liked the controller, and I thought the game selection was good. I played a lot of Tiger Woods too, actually, come to think of it.
Weird.
I know,
Tiger
right?
Woods and Buffy.
I
That's
have
an odd
eclectic
combo.
game tastes, okay? Back off.
Golf and vampire blondes, I guess. Was she blonde in the game?
Yes.
Blonde? I don't
She's
know. I don't know
Buffy.
Buffy. I assumed Buffy was blonde. Just
I'm shaking
based
my
on the
head at
TV
you right
show
now.
and movie, that's it. Yeah, shake your head, because, I mean, I don't know. The other thing they're launching next week is supposedly this speed boost patch that's going to make me be able to quit a game without having to go get a drink because it's taking too long. Because it literally takes, like, sometimes 30 to 45 seconds.
Oh my god. How
I know
do
it
you
sounds like a
cope?
lot. I know it sounds... When I say it out loud, it's like, Ryan, you entitled son of a bitch,
So this basically is the rage quit patch.
It's making the console act like a next generation
Yeah.
console. Like, they're not doing themselves any favors. It's like,
I find that that's the biggest problem with the Wii U is that it doesn't feel like next gen. It feels like they're just barely caught up to where, and in a lot of cases, they are not caught up to what
yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation have been doing in this generation. So to call it a next gen console, I don't even think that title should apply.
Caught up is sort of the words we've been using a lot to describe what Nintendo's doing, and you're right, it's like quotation caught up
Yeah.
because they're not there yet, and they probably won't get there, just based on the sole limitations of the hardware, but also just based on the fact that Nintendo doesn't want to do what Microsoft and Sony are doing. So we're not going to see achievements. We're not going to see, as
The
much
social aspects.
well, I mean, the Miiverse is their social aspect, and in some cases, it's more social than what you get just on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. But
Well-
it's not like I'm gonna buy Assassin's Creed 3 on Wii U so I can play with my friends online. I tried the online mode for that, and I could never find a game. So like that whole portion of the game is crippled because I
Yeah.
can't play it.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's broken, but Miiverse is just booming with really, like, people are really getting in there and they're drawing cool things, and it's
Is
It's-
it just full of penises and boobs? Because that's
No, it's
pretty
not.
much whenever anyone. That's what I expect.
it's not YouTube
Minecraft
comments.
is.
It's not YouTube comments.
I don't know, man. Every time that anyone gets just creative freedom in any kind of virtual space, that seems to be the first thing they do. I'm gonna make the biggest penis the world has ever seen.
The Ninja Gaiden 3 Miiverse section is kind of filled with screenshots. The costumes for the characters are Japanese. In the sense that there's not a lot of clothing on the optional costumes, so people are taking screenshots. So that's probably as close as it gets. Because when you're in the game, you can push the home button and go to the Miiverse and post what's on your screen, which is really cool. But there's no way to get it out of Miiverse and into an interesting social network. Like, I can't export what I'm saying on Miiverse to Facebook or Twitter. That's sort of where it's broken, but I think
Right.
Nintendo's actually working on that.
I don't know. I kind of like the amount of interaction that I get with Xbox. It allows me to friend the people that I want to friend very easily, and it allows me to see very quickly who's online to play with, who's not, and what they're doing. And there isn't a whole lot of the extra crap. There's not a lot of Twitter, Facebook stuff. Like, you can tweet from your Xbox. You can post to Facebook from your Xbox if you want to, but it's not in your face like you have to do it all the time. It's very much secondary to the thing that you're there to do, which is play games. So it lets me see who of my friends are online, it lets me see what they are playing, and that's pretty much it. That's all that they're giving you, and it lets you compare your games, compare your achievements. Like, when I'm on my Xbox, I'm there to game, and I want to look and see what my friends are doing and how well they're doing at it. And maybe if I see someone who has 800 of 1,000 gamer points on a given game, I'll be like, oh, wow, clearly that's a title that I should be playing because they're really enjoying it. So,
Hmm.
I get everything I need to from, achievements, gamer scores, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really need much more than that. And to me, the Miiverse, like all I keep thinking is the whole Me Plaza from the Wii. And I mean, it's a whole bunch of people just kind of randomly walking around. And I know it's probably grown more out of that
Hmm.
with it being their next gen. But I feel like I don't need that in my game console. Same as I
Yeah.
don't need all of that in something like Steam or Origin, or which I found out Origin was randomly running in the background for the last 2 days, and the only reason I realized is because I was sitting at my computer, and all of a sudden it was like IceFlow has gone offline. I was like, offline in the what now? Like, what is this? Where is this coming from? And then I was like, oh, Origin.
I find Origin makes sounds when people log in and out. So
Well,
that's what
and
I'd be
that's the thing
hearing.
is I was hearing the like ping pong of people coming on and off and stuff, and then it was just I happened to be actually looking. I think I wasn't running something full screen, and then I actually saw the notification pop up, and I was like, God damn it!
Yeah. I'm right there with you in the sense that like the Steam community, I only use it for tech support and whether to figure out if a game is
It's worth
worth
getting,
play.
yeah.
And I do that with Miiverse as well. I don't go in there and it's like I'm gonna check how the Miiverse is doing. I I only go in there to
Yes,
be
you do.
like,
I bet you even have a crown. You're like, I am Ryan, Queen of the Miiverse, because no one else is here.
could have at least made
Also,
me
you
king.
look like a robot apparently when you put your crown on.
You couldn't make me king. That's just not fair. But
Oh wait, did I say queen? I meant king.
such a lie.
I'm sorry.
I I I don't usually. I've been in there occasionally
Usually.
sorry?
Usually.
I've gone in there to see like if a game is worth playing. People are when the cave came out, I was kind of in there to kind of judge to see how the performance was on the platform, and usually a lot of people are asking whether the game's worth purchasing or whether the game holds up on Wii U, stuff like that. And a lot of people post screenshots and talk about how they're enjoying the game. So it's a really cool
Hmm.
way to find out how the community is enjoying it. Um, and it's not the greatest. Sometimes there are like really weird comments and weird screenshots and drawings, but
For the most
it's
part,
not.
it's a worthwhile adventure.
Yeah, I want achievements so bad on my Nintendo
Hmm.
titles, but
Yeah.
Nintendo ain't gonna give us
Yeah.
that.
Fair enough. So that pretty much brings us to the end of our show, but we do want to remind everybody that we have an XCOM key to give away. Ryan, do you want to talk about XCOM a little before we go?
Sure. Do we want to give it
Come on.
away this week?
This is your chance to pimp something. Remember what we talked about.
Oh, right. Let me just where'd my purple hat and cane go? XCOM is this great title on Steam where you play as a team of XCOM units, guys. It's a great strategy title, anyways. I'm not doing this very well. I have a Steam key to
So
give
bad
away,
at this.
and we were going to give it away this week with our guests, but we didn't get a chance to do that. So we're going to wait till next week.
We are going to wait till next week
Okay.
because I also totally forgot to upload the videos to YouTube. So
Okay.
anyone who watches on our YouTube channel didn't get a chance to watch it until about 3 o'clock today. So anyone that
Ah,
sends in feedback before next week's show, which as always is 8:30 Eastern on twitch.tv/amovetv, we will be giving away the code next week, which
yeah.
brings us to the end of our show. You can visit us on the web at gamersinpodcast.com or email us at info@gamersinpodcast.com. You can find us on AMove TV along with other fabulous podcasts such as StarCast, Campaign Roundtable, Biggest Fan, and This Week in Blizz. You can follow us on Twitter. You can find me, Jocelyn, at GIS Gamer. Ryan is at R. Murphy, and don't forget to follow the show at The Gamers Inn. You can also find us on Facebook and Google+. Before we go, I just wanted to give a quick shout out and thank you to my brother Greg for creating our awesome music. You can find him on Twitter at SoundsInfluence. We would also like to thank Joel Duggan of StarCrossed Online, who drew our Twitter avatars and created our logo. You can find him on Twitter at Joel Duggan or read his comic at StarCrossedOnline.com. Thanks for staying at the Gamers Inn, and remember to tune in next week. Bye!
Bye, everybody.